Yo, Magic Mike in the mix. You're tuning to the Magic Show Deluxe syndicated right here. I can't see right here because we're all over the place. We got so many networks we're on. I want to say big ups to everybody who's supported the Magic Show Deluxe over the years. Magic Mike here in Ottawa, Canada, and worldwide. But we got an artist. Big ups to MJ, one of the illest promoters and management out there. She's been passing me artists for years. But this is a special interview right here because I'm starting to do business back with her again. We got an artist. He goes by the name of AceWonda, and he's a new generation artist. What's going on, my G?
Hey, what's up, brother? Glad
I
to
thank you
glad to
so
talk to you.
thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
I like how you spell Ace Wonder, the wonder with WONDA. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, had to switch it up, man. That's all.
So you got a second collaboration right now going on. Like, first of all, let's go back. Let's go back. You know what I mean? Where are you from, and what got you into this hip hop thing?
Yeah, no doubt. From New Jersey, man. Born in Orange, New Jersey, which is North Jersey, and grew up mainly up in South Brunswick, which is Central New Jersey.
Okay.
Um, and so, started with the hip hop thing early on, probably around middle school. Just started crafting, writing rhymes, and actually before that, I started DJing.
Okay.
I was a DJ at first. I can't even say I was a DJ. I had some turntables. I
Okay.
had some turntables
Did
and
you get
wanted to
did you got
DJ.
the real was it the real Tech 12s or was it the Geminis? Which one was that?
No, no, no. I had the Geminis. I wasn't on the 1200s yet. I wasn't on that level. I was young, man. I mean, like literally sixth grade, maybe like 11 years old.
Okay.
Mom Dukes was able to look out and got me some Geminis, and I took it from there. But then quickly transitioned over to rapping. Man, I want to MC, and that was kind of what I fell in love with.
Okay. So you have a recent project, it's a masterpiece. It's called The Odyssey of Hip Hop.
No, no, the Odyssey of One.
The Odyssey of One, my bad. The Odyssey of One. Let's talk about the Odyssey of One right now, right? You
Yeah,
form
let's do it.
you have a couple producers on that?
Nah, just one, just
Just one
one. His name
producer
is Slimline Mother. He's the only producer on the whole entire track. Did every single beat on there.
on the whole entire album that you got.
Correct.
So
Yeah, yeah,
so you
whole
remember
entire
when
album.
so you remember when albums producers would do a whole album? Remember that back in the day, right? And then having a real producer on your album, that was gifted. Now it's like I ain't disrespecting anybody's making beats, but it's all loop based now, and you can buy the loops, and it's not really much creativity about that. What sets you apart with you and your producer from the other producers?
I'm really glad you asked that question. I will say just I guess the process of creating, from production to post production. And when I say post is, he'll send me, say, a batch of beats. I'll go through, pick what I like, start crafting to some of them. And then this time around, because this is our second project, I can go into how we did the first one. But this time around, I brought him in early on the journey. Every single thing I wrote to, every track we had, I sent it off to him, let him hear it, how, the direction I was going, the concept I had with it, and to see what he thought. And after he heard it, he would sit with it and think of, if it was good where it's at, or we might need something else to it. So he went back sometimes. He got like some guitar on it, or he might play the piano on some piece. And other producers, they give you some beats. You just might buy a beat and that's it. You get what you got.
Most artists now they're grabbing stuff from YouTube. You know, they lease a
Yeah,
beat for $25, right? And then another artist can lease on it, and whoever makes the hit first, I guess they own the beat. Is that how it works now?
I'll be honest, I don't know, but that's happened to me. That's happened to me. I've been not necessarily YouTube, I've never got a beat from, but I know and don't knock anyone for getting their beats off YouTube. They'll rip from YouTube. But that happened to me off what's the platform? BeatStars.
Okay.
BeatStars. I went to BeatStars. I got a beat one time. I'm scrolling through Instagram. I hear another dude on the same beat. And as an MC, like that's my beat. I'm like, hold on. I start, what I'm saying? Because it was me and a couple other homies on the song. I
Uh-huh.
got to send it off to them. I'm like, you hear this? You know
Could
what I'm
you
saying?
could you imagine, right? I've interviewed big ups to Corrupt and Daz. I've interviewed Corrupt multiple times. Could you imagine getting a feature off Corrupt and you interview the artist and the next thing
Oh
you know
man.
you got a next artist send you the same track but with him jumping on. I'm like, yo, I've already interviewed somebody on this before, right?
Listen.
Yeah, man, it happens
It's
in the industry. You
it
know,
it happens, man. It happens probably way more than
it's not Corrupt's fault because one of the artists, I can't say names, they got it from another producer, right? So it
right.
was probably hand me off, right? So the Odyssey of One, what's your favorite track on that? Because we're gonna actually spin that right after this interview.
My favorite. Ah, oh, that's tough.
One that
It's
you
like
one.
asking.
What's the single you're promoting right now off of that?
Okay, Fearless. Fearless is the one I recently sent out, and it's me feature another dope artist or vocalist named Paris June, and
Okay.
that's a dope track. It's well received, and everyone's been gravitating to that and connecting with that one.
Now, do you believe that technology took this music industry to a positive level or a negative level? Because right now, technology is at its highest peak, and it seems like artists ain't making no money right now. You know what I mean? Like as far as like the way they should be making money. Like I purchased this, like in my back of my car, I got 10 boxes in my whole like I got a Jeep with 10 boxes or a van, right? I got
Uh-huh.
mad CDs in that. I know that every time I hand off a CD, that's money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
then at the music stores, you know what I mean, they selling it. So do you find like that we're at the peak of technology right now? The artists making the money the way they should be making the money?
No, I can say that real quick. No.
Are you from the era? Now let's talk about this. When did you discover this culture of hip hop? Like what made you start wanting to do music? What year? Because I wanted to see if you came into the music business when we're still pressing CDs.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I guess what made me wanna do it was just being of the culture and you start creating music, you just after a while, I guess you want other people to hear your stuff. You want it to get a little bit beyond your circle of friends and really think, is it really hitting, what other people think of it. And so
Mm-hmm.
me, I always did music for myself personally. Like I never really cared what anybody thought. I just like doing music because I like writing rhymes and putting bars together. And it was just always a hobby of mine. The hobby just progressed to where as it is now it became just like an obsession. I'm just like I
Mm-hmm.
love it. I love doing it. I got my own space and I own my own creative process. So to bring it back where I started, I came in. My first mixtape was like 05, 06. And I had been doing music way before that, but I actually decided I'm gonna put out a CD. Okay, so went through the whole get your cover art done, um pictures for that, and then you go through the whole CD burning process of pressing up hundreds thousands of
Do you
actual
remember that?
CDs.
Do you remember that using your own CD burner? Remember the ones that had the USB CD burners,
Yeah,
the rewritables? Okay.
yeah,
So I
absolutely.
wouldn't want
So
to use I
grabbing the
wouldn't yeah,
CDRs and the CDRW, the rewritables, and
that's
burning
right.
them
That's
yourself.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. So when you're pressing your mixtape, you can actually spin the mixtape right there and find out what it would sound like for other DJs. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from that
Exactly.
era, man.
Exactly.
From that
Exactly.
era.
Yeah,
Putting
man.
music up on Dat Piff and livemixtapes.com before the
Mixtape
streaming
torrent and
came.
mixtape torrent. Mixtape torrent was a bad one, you know?
Yeah. all those platforms, man. I was of it because just as much as I love to create, I love to consume.
That's
So I
right.
had an addiction to listening to music, to being up on the new stuff. I took pride in putting my camp and my clique onto new music.
Let's talk about your relationship with Slim Line Mother. All
Yeah.
right. Now, when did you all start working together? When did you notice his talent as being a producer?
This was just something just organic on IG, on social media. I was
What
late to
what year
social
was
media.
this?
um, so I can't really pinpoint it. It was sometime probably between 2021 and 2022. So I joined social media and all that stuff in like 2020. I was late because I was really just anti it. And I had another project out that my boy asked me to help promote with him. You need to, create a social media profile. You need to get on board with this. So I jumped in, and then after that project, I'm communicating with people online, and then he came across my feed. I don't know who contacted who first, but all I know is my man had some tight beats. We started a conversation, and it kind of just grew from there. He sent me a batch of beats. I sat with him. I gave him, I knew I wanted to do an EP because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have a official, say LP yet, and I didn't want to just come out the gate with an album, even though I had plenty of mixtapes that could have been deemed albums at any given time before then. For my
Mm-hmm.
first I guess, solo debut piece of work I'm putting on a digital streaming platform. I wanted it to be an EP. And so I told him I'm picking 6 beats, and that's what it was. But back then, I grabbed his beats, crafted to him, and then I just put out the project. Like he wasn't even a part of it. Like, and I don't know, like that's just where I was at. Like I worked fast, and then I just kind of did it, and he didn't really have any say on anything except for the beats that he gave me. I chose them. This time around, it was totally different. So we go back to that first release, which was called Sophisticated Syntax. I dropped that October 2022.
October 2022. Wasn't that such a wonderful year, 2022? Right?
Man, listen.
Wasn't that a beautiful year? Huh?
I mean, it was it was coming out of the pandemic, I feel. So it was kind of
Yes,
like we were getting the fog was kind of clearing up.
that's right.
All that madness that jumped off in 2020, 2021 happened. A lot of people had new hustles. You kind of had to refigure it out back in that
Mm,
pandemic time. So I think
mm.
2022 was a time where we were kind of just getting used to the new normal, and had a lot of new stuff going on. And yeah, I was able to create more. And I agree. I think it was a good time, man.
So, what's your plans for this year, 2025? And it's Super Bowl weekend, isn't it? We're recording this on Super Bowl weekend, right? Are you gonna be
Yeah,
watching the Super Bowl, my man? Ace Wonder?
absolutely,
You
absolutely.
going for Philly? I'm going for Philly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, because I can't do that. I
You're
can't
right.
do that.
You know what's crazy? You're right. They're right underneath you, anyways. Philadelphia's right underneath you, right?
Yeah, but see, I'm a Giants fan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a
Yeah,
Giants fan, and because I'm a Giants fan,
yeah.
it just won't allow me to do it.
You know what? I'm
It
gonna
won't
say
allow me
right
to do
now,
it.
the East Coast is on fire.
It is.
Northeast is on fire right now. North, we're right close to it, Ottawa. You know what I mean? Literally, like I can't say much, right? But there's a wait at 15 minutes to get from my house to New York State from my place right now, right? But
Okay,
that's nobody could really go there. That's more for like military and things of that nature, right?
got you,
But
got you.
we're right close to y'all, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Well, see,
I love
I'm
New
in
York. I
Maryland.
got family in New York. Big ups all my New York heads, all my family out there. I got one family member in Philly, well, a friend of a family. But it's just the way it just looks right now. I just feel like Philly's gonna win it, That's all.
Hey, listen, I know the city is so strong, and I love Philly. Don't get me wrong. Jersey and Philly, we like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we brothers right next to each other.
Philly needs to,
Even though right
it's
now
always been New York, New York, New York, or New Jersey up in the turnpike. It's always been y'all, right? People always forget
it's
about
all of us.
Philadelphia. It's
No,
always
no, no.
about
It's all of
y'all.
us. No, it's all of us. You would think the tri-state, unless they loop Philly in there, even though
Yeah,
it's New Jersey, New York, Connecticut.
yeah.
Philly, you know what I'm saying, always got that shine, and they always stay strong on their own. But I rock with Philly, just not the Eagles. Let's put it like that.
What do you think about what Benny Siegel was saying about Jay-Z? Big ups to Jay-Z, big ups to Jazzo, you know what I mean? I have to say big ups to Jazzo. Interview Jazzo. Jazzo's a very good brother, you know what I mean? We
The
already know the
originator,
story.
yeah, the
Originator,
originator.
right? And when I speak
Absolutely.
of Jay-Z and our pioneers, I speak of them in good terms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, not even just that. What do you think about Kendrick Lamar winning those Grammys, right? Off of this track. And, big ups to my man Drake. You know what I mean? I know some of the peoples out there in Toronto, but I do have to say this. Cannabis took the loss, but he didn't take it to his game. Jay-Z took the loss, but he took it to his game. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Ho. You got to
Yeah,
rewind.
right. You
What,
know what I'm
what, what, are
saying?
we, what are we talking about? Because Beanie's one of my favorite artists, so I want to double back and get back to where you
The
were leading
Beanie.
off with the Beanie saying
Well,
about
Beanie
Jay
was,
Z.
yeah. Well, this what was going on with him and Jay-Z. Jay-Z gave him a chance, put him in a bunch of movies and things of that nature. Whatever happened behind the scenes, it happened behind the scenes,
Right,
right?
right.
I just don't think in an interview I'd be bringing that up. Like if somebody gave me a platform that was grateful to
Okay.
me and things of that nature, I'm not gonna sit there and just say certain things. Like he's up and down. You know what I mean? Freeway, I've interviewed Freeway. I got nothing against him. He doesn't really speak about Jay-Z in any bad terms. You know what I mean? Anybody who's under Jay-Z's belt and umbrella should be grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, right?
Well, I agree with you. I think that perhaps Freeway and Jay have a different dynamic than, let's say, Beanie and Jay.
Yeah.
As of their state relationship where they at now. That's from the outside looking in. Of course, I don't know any of them personally, so that's
Yeah.
just me just peeping it from afar. But I
From
mean,
a
I
far
don't know.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Siegel can only speak on his truth, you know. And when he gets on different platforms, I think I may have seen what you might be talking about. So
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
gets on different platforms and he
But different
speaks on it,
platforms, certain platforms, you'll say certain things that happen and things of that nature. But I was just what I'm trying to get at is it's like it's different now in hip hop, right? Everything comes out, everything is being
yeah,
said. You know what I mean? You can't keep nothing
yeah,
quiet these days. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like our culture is being, how can I say it? It's being killed off as we speak. You know what I mean? Do you
mm.
feel like our culture is being killed off?
No, man, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna say that. I do
Yeah.
think it's taken some turns that I don't care for. But
Hmm.
that's with everything in life. And I think that people just got to kind of roll with the punches and learn how to adapt because what we're seeing now is the evolution of technology putting a camera in front of everyone, you know, everyone with their phone. And that's almost your biggest asset and priority that you
That's
carry
right.
with you every single time.
That's
And
right.
so people now, we're just going to get more of it. You just got to learn how to either uh, weed it out if you don't care for it or
That's right.
implement it into your lifestyle because it ain't really going nowhere. I think Beanie, I don't think he embellished too much. Now, if people feel a certain way about him just speaking on it in general, I understand that because we come from a time where you know you ain't always pull out your phone and certain things you speak behind closed
Hmm.
doors. You keep
Hmm.
it internal. You don't put that out there for the public.
Hmm.
But when you're a public person, figure, as I should say, and he's on a platform and they ask him a question, do I think Beanie gonna actually duck and dodge it? No, I think he kind of answered it tastefully, and you know, it's just for the consumer to feel how they want to feel about it.
So in New Jersey, where you are right now, do you have
No,
any
no, I'm in
care?
Maryland. I'm in
You're in
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay,
Yeah, I've
you're
been
in
in
Maryland,
Maryland
but
for a minute.
when you were in Jersey, right? Do
Uh
you have any favorite Caribbean restaurants you like to eat at?
huh.
Because
I would.
I already asked somebody in Baltimore, right? Okay, we had an artist on a few weeks ago. Now I'm asking you, right? Any Caribbean spots? Do you like Caribbean food?
I do, but I wasn't eating a lot of Caribbean spots up in
Name.
Jersey. Now I can tell you a bunch of spots out here in Maryland. Either from the grill to Tropicana to Golden Crust
I
to
heard Tropicana from the next artist. That was a popular spot there.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. That helped me down, especially in my college years up at Howard University. That was the spot.
What's the
But
temperature
yeah,
up there for you
I
right
could give you
now?
those three. What you say?
What's the temperature right now up in Maryland, where you are in Maryland?
I don't even know. It ain't even
Yeah.
showing on my computer. I know it's probably right above freezing. If it's not freezing, it's right above freezing. It was
Have
freezing
you?
yesterday.
I see you got a Howard University alumni sweater. You did you go to Howard University?
All day, you can't rap it if you ain't.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
We don't
hey
do
man,
that.
this is
Yeah.
2025. You could buy that stuff online, right? And wear it as a fashion, right? You know what I mean?
Okay, okay, yeah, you're right. But you ain't rocking the alumni on there.
Yeah.
That's yeah, we ain't
Let's
doing
real
that.
quick. Let's talk about your years at Howard University. What did you study in? What did you major in?
Communications.
Communication. So like radio
Next, I made
and
that crowd jump.
things like that.
Yeah,
Pop
yeah.
champagne,
Mass
what you been
communications,
sip?
radio, TV
Heavyweight,
journalism.
Okay.
in the bed,
So
don't
you're in
got
the
two
media. So
phones.
basically,
Feel like
your
Kevin
day
Gates.
job, you're a rapper, but your
Niggas are
day job,
odds
you're in
embedded.
communications,
Line
basically.
of
Not at
plays.
all.
I
Not
be
at all.
stacking
No,
niggas
yeah.
out.
I got my bachelor's there. I stayed at Howard a little bit long. I got my master's in mass communications and media studies, where I was going to think about being a professor. I actually want to kind of teach communications up at a university, whether it be Howard or somewhere else. Then life took a turn. Had a kid, was working behind the scenes up at Howard University, and then I needed more money, so I went chasing the bag, and then I found my way into software development. So now, as of today, I'm a computer programmer. You know, I do coding, and so that's what I do on my career, and then do the music, you know, as my side passion or hobby.
And you could actually do apps as well. You're an app person if you wanted to make an app.
I do, I do. One of
Let me
the
ask you something. If you got an app, okay,
uh
and you're talking out you're talking out your ass, let's say talking about, oh, you know, once you get an app, Magic, you need all kinds of apps. You need app for this, app for that. And then you go to see their platform and the app is only good for Apple. Right? I'm like, what about the Android users? Right? Is he actually losing out here? Like right now, you're into the technology. You're deep in technology. Who's winning right now, Apple or Android?
Don't ask me that, man. Why you
Yeah, you
do that?
don't. Yeah. As far as apps
What?
is concerned, can you?
Who's winning is relative, man. You always gotta. Now I'm gonna tell you like this. I got an
What do
Android
you
in
got?
front of me.
Yeah,
I got both. I'm talking to you on an Android, but guess
yeah,
what? I got an iPhone right here in my pocket. You feel me?
yeah.
Um,
I got an
I tell you
Android.
this.
You always got to have your Android.
Listen. I'm an Android person.
Yeah,
I'm an Android person
me
first and
too.
foremost. Uh, but Apple is what it is. It's better at certain things. You know what I'm saying? And
What is Apple
you know
better at? You
the
tell me
world.
what's
I ain't
Apple
gonna say
better
better.
at.
It's more compatible with certain platforms and stuff. Like you can do certain things on social media and on different applications. It'll sync better with Apple for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it's like
And,
creators like doing things on Apple over
mhm.
PCs. Not saying it's better. You'll have your
Yeah.
arguments where PC is better, but you know,
When we were doing back music back in the early 90s, right? It was always a Mac to do the music with, to sync up the MIDI and things of that nature, right?
very
And when the
true.
hard drives got bigger, you know what I'm saying? When the hard drives got bigger, Windows was available to sustain that. But everybody knows, yes, the Mac is good for that. But as far as phones, as I'm concerned, everybody's switching over. I heard a lot of people switching over from having an iPhone to an Android phone. But anyways, do you
Android's where
make,
it's at.
yeah, do you
So I'm gonna go with Android. I stick with Android.
yeah,
As far as winning, I'm gonna go with Android, man.
Android, all right.
Yeah, I'm going with
So
Android.
what? So what, did you produce it? Did he teach you anything? You could record in your spot right now, right?
Yeah,
If you wanted
yeah,
to. What do
absolutely.
you what software are you using to record? Are you FL
Cubase.
Studio? Are you on the Cubase?
Yeah, I've been with Cubase since I
Oh,
had.
you don't
Yeah, I'm
hear
one of
that
them
too
guys.
much. You do not hear that too much. You
You
don't hear
don't.
Cubase. No, you
We
don't.
don't.
Listen, I've been using Fruity Loops since 1998. Okay, it was called
Okay.
Fruity Loops 1.0, then 2.0 I mastered it, right? It was just the demos I was using, okay? I shouldn't say that just in case. Right?
Nah, that's
But
real
then
though. That's what it is.
I ended up buying 4.0, and I would take my stems out of Fruity Loops and put them in a multi-track, which would be Cubase. Okay, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then if I want to make extra, if I want to add extra synths into it, I just play it on a MIDI. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Why Cubase? Why not jump on the bandwagon? I really believe FL Studio, you make the beat in FL Studio and you transfer it over to a multi-track, something that's made to just record and mix. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but why are you sticking with the Cubase? Are you just sticking with something you know, or you just don't want to change, or what?
Bro, that's it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I came into Cubase because I got like your first recording starter kit in my own spot, and it was the Scarlett, the 2x2 little interface, and
Interface, yeah.
the free software that came with was Cubase.
That's right.
I
That's
learned
right.
that, like you did FL Studio. I mastered that. It
Yes.
works for me. I didn't need nothing else. Like I
Nothing
know
else.
how to get everything to make it compatible with. Listen, if they working with Pro Tools or Logic or what was it? Something else I forget, but
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
else we
I
could work.
But I will say this though about Cubase, right? You'll notice the difference. The earlier Cubase, how can I say this? When you hear Pro Tools, things were fat. You know what I mean? You'd hear the analog, right? It's weird. You just heard it. It was digital, but you heard it was thick.
Hmm.
And then you had Sony, Acid, and Vegas, and those programs. I find things were more looser. You know what I mean? On that, it was easy. You know what I mean? It was more easier to use. Didn't take up much RAM. And then Cubase, everything was crisp and sharp. Okay, it wasn't thick. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't thick. Now when I listen to Cubase, the updated versions, people don't understand the powerhouse of that. They really don't.
Oh man, it's a
They really
workhorse,
don't.
man. But you're right. It's the people that know. Like the Cubase community is so strong, the
That's right.
foundation, and it's solid. It's been there for decades. I
And
mean,
there's so
it may
much
not be the
hardware.
favorite new bells and whistles that Ableton or something else might bring along, but it's solid, man. It's so solid. It's going nowhere, and you can do everything in that DAW that you can do with any of them. Any of them.
You know what's funny? It's now FL Studio has hardware to go with the software. Right?
Wow.
Steinberg, big ups to Steinberg out in Germany. They got loads of hardware. I remember when they had the vocal compressors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was silver, right? And you had like the knobs and everything. It was beautiful, all meant for Cubase. Absolutely beautiful. Well, we could
So
talk
you
all
go
day
back.
about, huh?
You go now. I'm saying you going back because now I'm wondering like where are you with you got the hardware, but that's another
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
Like
you know what I'm saying? One other program too is Logic Pro for
yeah,
Mac, right? Logic Pro 2000, Logic Pro 1.0, I think it is. Okay, there's a studio here called Swap. Okay, and I've never
mm,
heard any studio. This is early 2000. I had never heard a studio ever after that had a sound like that. I asked them years later, when I'm in your studio, you made me cry. I used to rap. Okay, I did this song called Platinum and Ice. When I heard the playback, that motherfucker made me cry because I
Chris.
couldn't believe the sound quality. He
Yeah,
told me everything. Remember that whole rack mount? Because I know rack mount is now. I go, yeah, that's all dedicated. That's all Mac. I go, what? Mac was making the. It goes, yeah, that's all Lodge. Oh my god, brother. So I think studios now in someone's bedroom, it's great and all. But do you believe like you need the gear? You need all that gear to make your track sound warmer?
no, no, I don't think you need it. Now,
Yeah,
here's the thing:
yeah.
if you can afford it, you're fortunate enough to come across it, and you get it, and you learn it. Man, I know people with the best equipment, but let's just say they don't spend the time to actually work with it. You
That's
know, they
right.
get gifted this. And so because you have it doesn't mean that it's going to be an actual masterpiece.
That's
I know
right.
some people that have something that may be mid-tier or just some starter, but that's all they know. They stick with it and it sounds amazing. So I don't think you need it, but uh, having that kind of software or let's say hardware and you're a top tier producer or engineer,
Engineer. Yeah.
yeah, you'll definitely probably fin better than someone that's mid level with some mid, you know, say mid level gear. I'll say that.
All right. So give off your social media. How can they get a hold of you?
Right. AceWonda. So it's underscore ACEWONDA. Again, it's AceWonda with an A. So there you go. You can reach me all on social media platforms, YouTube, IG, etc.
I need your YouTube. I actually added you on Instagram, right? I need your YouTube channel. Now, do you got a video for Fearless? Are you working on a music video for that one?
Working on that. Yeah, I got that in the works. Just some short form content I've been dropping online on the social medias, and right now that's in the works. So I'm putting that together.
All right, we're gonna hear your track right now. Fearless by AceWonda. It's a pleasure to have you on. I'm gonna tag you wherever we link this. You're always gonna be tagged.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, big ups to MJ for that one. All right, here's your
MJ, what up?
track. Here's your track, Fearless, right here on the Magical Deluxe Syndicated. Let's go.
Put out stuff every day. The person who's the most fearless, the one who doesn't care about what people are gonna like and say and do and based on this, and now they're gonna. Those are the people who win. The more risks you can take, the more chances of winning. The more fearless you are, the more chances of winning.
You gotta put yourself out there, show the world who you are. Everyone might not know it, but I'm sure you're a star. Put in the work, early mornings, late nights, sacrifice time.